Welcome back to Grassroots Footy, brought to us by West End. Time to go out to the Kenilworth Footy Club with Lisa Wright for the Footy Chicks Footy Trip.
And welcome to Footy Trip for another week, brought to you by West End. Tonight I am at St Mary's Park to visit the mighty Kookaburras. Yes, that's right, I am at the Kenilworth Football Club, who are on the eve of their past Players' Day this week in their big top-of-the-table clash against Glenunga. Now, they're also celebrating 30 years since their last premiership. 30 years, long time between drinks. Can they get the premiership again this year? Let's go speak to a few people and find out what they're doing to make sure that happens.
Yeah, we're going alright. Yeah, we've started off well, but obviously a long season. So obviously got a top of the table clash this week. So we're really looking forward to that, and hopefully the boys can get up this week and sit on the top spot outright.
I think this year it'll be a really big one because we've got an anniversary of a premiership coming up of past years. And also a lot of them haven't seen the renovations, which is going to be really good. And there's a lot more vibe about it, and especially a local derby, because there's a lot of players that know each other from Glenunga and Kenilworth, so it'll be on Saturday. Yeah.
Obviously Blake Moser, most people have heard of him, taking a few hangers and that, but he's obviously been one of the standouts. We picked up Shannon Goldsmith, who he's played at a lot of clubs, but it was a very good pickup for us, late-ish towards the season sort of thing. So those two have been very good since they come on board, but we've got a lot of under-18s are sitting second or first on the ladder at the moment, so we've probably played 3 or 4, maybe 5 of them through the A grade as well, so future's looking good for us as well.
Really, we got a new coach a couple of years ago, and he's brought a new atmosphere with players, and we've got that on-field pressure now, so we're getting 40-45 people out to training every training night. We've also got a group of our junior program, which has been going for about 12 years, is coming through, so we've got under-18s putting pressure on spots for A-grade players, so it's all part of that. And there's also the hard work of all the old committee. We've got a president that's been a president for about nearly 20 years, and a football operation nearly 40 years, so their hard work just keeping the club going and pushing and pushing and pushing is it's really coming to fold for finally, after years of going down and down and down.
So with all the young fellas that you've got on the field, I heard you've actually hiked up the average age of your team by putting one fella on the field last week.
Yes, the old dinosaur, as they call him, Justin Salisbury. He had his first run last week. He's had a few work issues and really wasn't sure whether he was going to play or not, so half convinced him during the week last week, and he's committed to, he's got a few work issues, but he's committed to pretty much the rest of the season, so it's good to get him give him a run. He was a bit scratchy, but he'll be all right come sort of towards the end of the year.
Art. He's slowing down a little bit, but at 100 years he's allowed to slow down a little bit, but he tells me he's booked his bed in his nursing home when they're rebuilding at Old Hallows, where he's been volunteering for over 40 years there, but yeah, so he's got his bed booked there, but he's still living at home, still coming out in the barbecue, maybe not as active as ever, but he's still very sharp, tells a good joke too.
Has he hired the person that's going to follow in his footsteps, because they're going to have big footsteps to fill?
Oh, yes, he might wear small shoes, but he has got big footsteps, and we've got a few people we're pushing to sort of take over, because his apprentices, they're only 75. And they're probably thinking about calling a day when Art does, so we're letting them off easy for another 25 years. That's
excellent. Well, Gary, all the best for the rest of the year, and thanks for having a chat.
Thank you very much, Tar.
Look, we've got to be on our game. We're not here saying we're the best team or anything like that. We know we've still got a long way to go before we get anywhere near sort of playing in later half of the final sort of thing. So
tell us about Blake Moser's mark in round 1.
Oh yes, that mark. Yeah, lots been talked about it. Yeah, it was pretty big. One of the biggest I've ever seen. He was So they say, checking the weather forecast as he was up there, waving to the crowd. He was up there, but I mean, he's taken a few since then as well. But that was huge. That was one of the biggest I've ever seen. So yeah, ask him about it. He will tell you all about it. So he'll know exactly what it went down like.
Shane, thanks so much for your time tonight. All the best for the rest of the
year.
year.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Adam Parry, play fullback, and in the A grade.
Chris Oldfield, centre half forward or full forward for A grade.
Timothy Wayne Hendry, play the full name and everything. Play C7s. No, I play in the C grade.
Tim Dabrowski, because he's an angry human.
Probably me, because I don't sleep.
Blake Moser.
And was that?
Just because he's so big.
Probably Mike Bradley. Mike Bradley's Bradley. He's a guy that wears a helmet in our C grade, and yeah, he does some stupid moves like he calls it the Sylvester the Cat, where he goes on the dance floor. He's an idiot. That's an idiot. So.
Describe Blake Moses' mark in round 1.
I was sitting right under it, so his knees were probably a metre above my head.
Probably couldn't get much higher. Like, he was flying up there with the planes. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I thought he jumped out of a plane. I saw him take his parachute off before he had a shot at goal. So, yeah, it was pretty big. It was a massive mark.
Down by 2 points, and we get the ball in the forward 50. Intercept mark by Blakey Moser!
Yes, and it's that time of night again. It is the West End goal kickoff, otherwise known as Cheers for Beers. And boy, have we got a goal kicking feast for you tonight with my 3 goal kickers here from the Chocolate and Blue, the Kookaburras. Guys, rattle off your names.
Blake. Ryan. Daniel.
All right, guys, let's kick a few goals. My God, I promised you a footballing frenzy feast, and a footballing goal-kicking frenzy feast is what we got from these guys here. Mate, we have a lot of absolute classic goals to pick from tonight, so let's get to it and do our Cheers for Beers. Crowd, are we ready to vote? Right, okay. What did we think of Daniel's goal? I actually thought that was the best one. And what did we think of Ryan's goal? And lastly, what did we think of Blake's goal? Oh, right. Well, I think we have our winner, and Ryan, congratulations. What on to this week. I'd love to thank the Kookaburras Kenilworth Football Club for having me out tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Thanks very much to the group out there at Kenilworth and Lisa Wright. Of course, Blake Moser, didn't he get? That's primetime Moser, of course. The boys out there stitched him up pretty nicely. Macca, time to have a look at Division 3. Flinders Park, they're in 3rd spot, up against CBC in 9th spot. It's at Flinders Park Oval. Flinders Park, they lost last week by 62 points. CBC by 63 points. Had trouble kicking goals. Flinders 6-12 and CBC only 6-9.
Yeah, Flinders have been a bit up and down lately, so they still hold in the top 3 on even wins, so there's still a chance to finish on top, so that'll be an important one for them. The Seabockers, strangely enough, they're still fighting for a chance to avoid relegation, and Pilichowicz last week, very good player, and Margatic, those 2 names for Seabockers, very good, and Flinders Park, only Keatley, Randall and Obst. Where were the big names from Flinders Park? So they want to pull their fingers out, a few of them boys out there.
Might jump up this week. Seaton Ramblers, they're in 5th spot. Golden Grove are in 10th. It's at Pedlar Reserve. Seaton won their last 2. Golden Grove have lost their last 2. So form's an indicator. Seaton in this one.
Yeah, look, I think Seaton will win this game. 10-goal winners last week. Lay kicked 3 and was their best player. Golden Grove, Ravlich, who was their best player, he kicked 2. Seaton Ramblers still a chance to finals chance, so I think that's going to pump them along. Stent, I bet you he's all heart out there at Golden Grove. And Lockhill, who's the leading goal kicker for Seaton Ramblers, didn't kick goal last week and he's kicked 41 for the year. So I think the Ramblers will get over the top of the Grove.
All right, this is the match of the round. Smosh Westlakes in 4th spot. They're up against Mitcham in 1st spot at Westlake Shores Oval.
This will be a good game, won't it? Mitcham are hanging on to top spot. Win will keep them on top. And Smosh, look, they're sniffing the top 3. So they're pretty close, these teams in this grade. Gates kicked 4 for Smosh. Greg Scott was in their best players, and so was Gatesy. Mitcham, Rowe kicked 4 and Ellis kicked 3. Mitcham won by 8 points, and I think they might get another win again this week.
All right, if you're down at Limblom Park, you've got Paraka in 6th up against Pembroke in 7th.
Pembroke, the 2 Pinckney boys, Fraser and James back playing well, and Knackers McCann, who's a real workhorse. I'm sure that the wet weather suited him beautifully on the weekend. Pembroke have this knack of being able to survive. They look like they're going to get relegated, and then all of a sudden they just win enough games to get them over the line. I'm going to tip an upset here. I think they're going to get over Paraka. Ronald Rankin Jr., who's been a terrific player for Paraka, kicked 3 last week. But I think Pembroke might cause a little upset here.
All right, Para Hills, they're in 8th spot. Portland are in 2nd. It's at the Paddocks.
Portland travelling along beautifully, and I think they'll just blow Para Hills off the map. And Waring kicked 4 for Portland last week. The big steamboat out there, he's got Portland travelling along nicely, and they're eyeing off a top position right at the top.
All right, Divvy 4, you're under pressure now, Mackie. You've got a minute to get through these ones. Hectorville in 4th, Unley in 3rd. It's at Daly Oval.
Well, this might be the draw. So we'll go with the draw today.
You've been trying to get it in, haven't you?
I had to. Look, Ben Fay kicked 7 and Mossy kicked 5 for Unley. Hectorville, Twaits, Watton and Hollingsworth, their best players. But I'm going for a draw here.
All right, Salisbury, they sit in 1st spot. Greenacres are in 5th at Salisbury Oval. Yeah,
Greenacres 2-point winners last week, and Salisbury won by 12 goals. So Mansfield kicked 5 for Salisbury. Greenacres, I don't think they'll get near Salisbury, will they? I think Salisbury are travelling along too nicely.
Going too well. Yep, Westminster, they're in 8th spot, up against Kilburn in 6th at Glandore Oval. Both teams suffered losses last weekend.
Yeah, the Jamie Thomas juggernaut got held up a bit last week. Kilburn travelling along pretty well. They're 2 games outside the 5, and a win this week can give them a chance to stay in there. So they might beat Westminster.
All right, Elizabeth, they're in 7th. Pulteney are in 9th at Agana Park.
Yeah, Pulteney, Joel Ace, who's kicked 37 for the year, been a terrific goal kicker for Pulteney, kicked 3 last week. It's a big battle to see who's going to stay out of the relegation zone, and I think Pulteney might get over Elizabeth.
All right, Fitzroy, they're in 10th spot. Scotch are in 2nd. It's at Fitzroy.
Yeah, Scotch 9-goal winners. Cale, who's the leading goal kicker in the comp, kicked 47 for them. Fitzroy, their senior players have got a pretty important thing to do now. They've got to make sure they keep the boys sticking together and really concentrating on making the last 6 weeks just not fall by the wayside and keep them all together as much as they can. They won't win, but it's pretty important those blokes help carry them along, but I'll tip Scotch to be there.
All right, we need to head to a break. Still to come, Division 5, 6 and 7. Lisa Wright will join us and talk about all the club announcements, club milestones. Stay with us.